What's up, everybody? Kuroda, Rob here. I'm back with another tier list. The last tier list I did was a Super NES tier list, which was really fun. It was pretty comprehensive too. It was a very long video because there was a lot of games. Today, as you guys can see by the title, I want to do the same thing, but instead we're doing Mario games. Now, since there is literally hundreds of Mario games, I decided to pick a tier list here where it has pretty much just all the adventure games. It's like 3D games, the platform games, the RPGs, a couple like little spin-offs or whatever. It's the main sort of series of games, plus a couple other extra little things. So we're not gonna have the Mario Karts, the Mario Parties, the Mario Sports games, stuff like that. It's gonna mostly be those kind of adventure games, and a few things like you can see on the bottom there. There's a Luigi's Mansion, and there's a couple Yoshi games and things like that. I don't know if there's any Wario games, but I'd almost feel like they deserve to be in here. And you could even argue the Donkey Kong Country games, but I digress. The latter two there are not in it. So today we're just gonna do the main series of Mario games because, as you guys may or may not know, I love the Mario series. It's my favorite series of games. To be honest with you, I don't know how it can't be a lot of people's favorite series, just because of the sheer amount of Mario games and just how many different kinds of games are in that series. So I thought it'd be fun today to just do this little tier list and kind of give you guys an idea of what my favorite Mario games are. I'd like to do a kind of scripted video, maybe like a top 20 Mario games or something at some point in the future. If that's something you guys would like to see, let me know. You know, just let me know in the comments or whatever. Just let me know if that's something you guys would be into, because I think it'd probably be something I'd be willing to make too. I've played enough Mario games where I think I could probably do even like a top 20 like I did with the Super NES video. But anyway, that being said, let's do this. Let's see if we can do some Mario games here. So I'm just gonna go down the bottom here, like how they have it laid out. So Super Mario Maker is the first one. I'm gonna give Super Mario Maker. Okay, so here's where I'm a little, right off the bat, I want to just make this clear. It's gonna be kind of a mixed bag here. I've played the vast majority of these games, but the ones I haven't played, I think I know enough to be a little objective. So it's gonna be like a bit of a sort of hybrid of my subjective opinion versus what I think are like objectively great games in the series. So just to give you guys that kind of prerequisite, I suppose. So that being said, for Super Mario Maker, I'm gonna give it B tier. Some of you might shout blasphemy for that, but for me, I think objectively it belongs like A, S tier. But for me personally, while I think it's great, it's not a game that I was ever really able to get into. I like playing the levels. In terms of making them, not so much. I feel like maybe had this game come out when I was younger, when I was really into, like, when I was first getting into games, I think I would have eaten this game up. I really feel like I would have probably put hours and hours and hours into it. As of now, these days, it's a game that I haven't played as much of. I know my niece, my nephew, and my brother really like this game. I know a lot of you guys love this game. I also really like this game, but I don't think it's A S tier for me. I think it's a little lower. It's fun to play the levels. It's also fun to make levels, and to be honest, I'm really impressed with a lot of the stuff that people make on Super Mario Maker. Like, some of the courses are really inventive, particularly like the music ones and stuff, or the ones where you don't move and it just takes you through like, you know, different, like this like elaborate kind of conveyor belt, if you will, of different like things. It's really cool, it's really fun, it's really creative, but not quite my game, so I'm gonna give it B tier. Mario and Luigi, I think this is Paper Jam. Yeah, never played it. So for the never played it games, I'm going to just throw it in the E tier. I don't really know much about this game. I know when this game came out, the Mario and Luigi series were really starting to get rather diluted, I would say. And just, they were putting out way too many of those games way too often. And I think that's unfortunately part of what killed the sales and what killed Alpha Dream. So I never really played this. I'm sure it's a good game. I don't really have an opinion on it. It was a cool idea to kind of mix Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi series and have a hybrid game. It's one I'd be interested in playing, I'd say, if I were to play any of the DS, like the 3DS Mario and Luigi games, aside from maybe the remake of the original. But yeah, I really don't have much to say about that game. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna also, with Bowser's Inside Story, I've also never played that either. I've really only played the first Mario and Luigi game. Like, I've played a bit of Partners in Time, which I liked, but Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is really the only game of that series that I'm very familiar with, so I'm also going to kind of put it in the haven't played category. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, I want to put in that category too, because I've also not really played it, but I'm actually going to throw it in C tier, and the reason being is that I've seen a lot of footage of this being played. I've watched people play it. I've played a tiny bit of it myself. I haven't played a ton, but from what I played, it seemed like it was pretty good. It wasn't as good from what I've seen as the first Luigi's Mansion, and based on what I've been playing of Luigi's Mansion 3, I'd have to say that, for me, I would say so far, it would probably fall on third place. But that being said, it's still a good game from what I've played of it. I really need to actually dive into this game and play it sometime. I didn't own it for a long time, but now because Rachel has it, I do have access to it. So this is a game I need to play more of, but from what I've played and what I've seen in terms of like footage and everything, I'm going to give it like C tier for now. New Super Mario Bros. U, I think, also is going to go on C tier. I know they recently re-released this for the Switch. I haven't played that version. I have played the Wii U version, which I think the game's pretty good. I haven't played as much of it as some of the other new Super Mario Bros. Games. But to be quite honest with you guys, I think some of those games are starting to become a little bit derivative and kind of too similar to each other. And by New Super Mario Bros. U, I think the formula is kind of a bit tired. That being said, it's still really cool. I like the overworld map. I like some of the new power-ups in it and everything. And how can you not love Nabbit? But yeah, to me it's pretty like middle of the road, I would say. And in terms of like the new Super Mario Bros. Games, it would probably be on the bottom end of that if you want my personal opinion anyway. Getting back to more of the new Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I'm going to give A tier. We live streamed this whole game, I think it was like about a year or two ago, Rachel and I. And this was just a blast, man. I really, really enjoyed New Super Mario Bros. Wii. It gets a little chaotic with 2 people, but it's also still really fun. And I felt like the level design was peak in terms of like the new Super Mario Bros. Games. I think it was peak in this game. And I think I'd honestly put the very first one for the DS on there as well, because I had that one for the DS when I first had it. I haven't played it in years, but I recall it being also really fun and really exciting because it was the first Mario platformer in a long time. So, I mean, in terms of the new Super Mario Bros. Games, in my opinion, you can't really beat the first 2 games of the series, the DS one and the Wii version. I think actually I'd put the Wii version over the DS one just a little bit, but both games are really great and was an awesome kind of return to form for the Mario platformer games, in my opinion. I think that again it's gotten a bit derivative. I don't think I'd be too interested in too many like new Super Mario Bros. Entries in the series. I think if they're gonna do more platforming Mario games, they need to do something different, like Mario Maker. I think probably objectively Mario Maker is better than a lot of those new Super Mario Bros. Games, especially something like I said, Mario Bros. U. But I think they need to do something different if they're gonna make just solely a Mario platformer game. I'd like to see something a little different. Super Mario Bros. 2, I'm gonna give a B tier. I love Super Mario Bros. 2. I think it's one of the, like, in terms of the old school Mario platformers, it really is great. The reason I give it a B tier is it's not Super Mario World, it's not really Super Mario Bros., it's not Super Mario Bros. 3, or even like Yoshi's Island or anything, and I'd even go so far as to say that the first two new Super Mario Bros. Games are better than it too. It is unique. I do love it. There's a charm to it. I love that you can play as, like, it's really the first Mario game where you can play as, different characters aside from Mario and Luigi. You can play as Toad and Peach. And it was really the first game where there's really an actual difference between Mario and Luigi. And it's cool. I don't know. It's cool that, like, You know, Peach has the floating ability. Luigi can jump higher, but his controls are a bit more slippery. Toad, for some reason, is a beast, and he's like really fast and really strong. And then Mario is like just like kind of a solid character to play as in the game. It's a really inventive concept, you know, that you're kind of, that Subcon is its own dream world. I love Wart. I wish he would come back, as I said in my neglected Mario characters video. And, you know, I think it's like a really unique world. The picking up items and stuff is really cool. And I love the music in this game. But, you know, it also loses a few points for originality, considering it was transformed from the game Doki Doki Panic, so it's not the most original game in the series, but it's still a classic. It's still really good, and I think it deserves a solid B tier. I always will have a special place in my heart for Super Mario Bros. 2. Okay, what I consider now a modern classic and one of the best Mario games to be released in the last 20 years, Super Mario Odyssey. I loved Super Mario Odyssey. I did a whole Let's Play on this channel, of course, of the game. It was my first exposure to it. I probably could actually do more. I did beat the game, but there's so much more you can do with it. You can get all 99 moons and all that. I loved this game. I thought this was an awesome kind of, I guess, not reboot, but just like an awesome way to do a Mario 3D platformer. It's the best one, in my opinion, my humble opinion, since Super Mario 64. I loved Cappy. I loved how you could, you know, possess all these different characters, including classic characters that I've always wanted to play as, like Bullet Bills and Goombas and all that, like enemies like that. Plus, like, you can take hold of a T-Rex, and, you know, it's great. It's such a cool feature of the game that you can just toss Cappy and just possess so many different kinds of forms. It's really great. It's probably my favorite aspect of the game. The platforming is really solid. It's cool. The different things you could do with Cappy, like, you know, you can hold the cap and use it as like another platform to jump over, you know, larger, like longer pits and everything. And the whole concept was pretty cool. With you know, Bowser trying to like actually marry Peach, and you know that was kind of fun and silly, you know. The only real, I think, critique I have it was I remember the final boss fight was pretty easy, and I also I'm not really a big fan of the I can't think of their names right now, like the rabbit guys. I don't know why I'm having a hard time thinking of their names, but yeah, those guys were really dorky. I didn't like them. I would have been fine with just having the Koopa Kids or something else. But other than that, I mean, that's kind of like a small thing to complain about. I think Mario 3D or Super Mario Odyssey is an awesome platformer. I love all the different kingdoms you can go to. I don't know why we haven't gotten DLC with like different kingdoms that you could unlock. That seems like a no-brainer to me, but you know, why not? And they could bring back, you know, they could do Delfino Plaza. They could do Yoshi's Island. They could do you know, Saraza Land, stuff like that. Like, it'd be cool to see different, you know, kingdoms like that incorporated into Mario Odyssey. But at this point, I don't think we're gonna get any DLC for it, but regardless, it's still a solid game on its own. So much replayability, such a unique concept, such an awesome world. Love it. Love Super Mario Odyssey. Going right up to S tier as well, my favorite game of all time. This is all, like, I will admit, it's probably, you know, like 90% rose-colored glasses here. But you guys know Super Mario RPG is my favorite game of all time. I gotta put it on S tier. Love it. It's my favorite RPG. It's my favorite Mario RPG. It's my favorite Mario game. I'm not gonna get super elaborate with this game because you guys obviously know my thoughts on it. Love the story. Love the world. Love the graphics. Love the characters. Just classic. You get that Squaresoft touch to it. Kind of where it gives it that little darkness to it. As I've said before, it's the first game that really fleshes out the Mario world in a unique way, and kind of set the stage for like Bowser's personality and, you know, Toad's personality a little bit, and Peach's personality, which is pretty interesting. And yeah, just a solid game. You guys know I'm obsessed with Super Mario RPG. I love that game. So S tier. I'm tempted to put this. I'm gonna put this one on S tier. I loved Super Mario 3D Land. This was an amazing game. I flew through this game when I first played it on the 3DS. It was just like, it was such a cool concept. The sort of hybridization of, if that's even a word, it is now. the hybrid of the 2D platforming aspect and 3D platforming aspect of the Mario games. It was such a cool and unique idea, and they just executed it really well. This game has such crazy like replayability, and you know, it's like it was for me. I just like, when I played this game, I was obsessed with this game for like a week. In a week, I 100% of the game, got all of the coins, got everything. I loved this game. I love the level design. I love that they brought back the leaf and the Tanuki suit. Really awesome game. I would say probably the best 3DS Mario game. One of the best handheld Mario games in a long time too. Just really fun. Down to D tier. We're going with Super Paper Mario. Look, I know a lot of people say this is not the worst Paper Mario game in the series. I did a whole Let's Play on this, for those who don't know, with Rachel, my wife, and it was not a good time. You know, the idea was interesting. The story was compelling. I'll give it that. I liked the story. It's probably one of the stronger Paper Mario stories. But God, this game got just too frustrating after a while. At times, it got really cryptic. The cryptic part of it was what really got me. And I found the gameplay itself kind of bland. It was actually really the first true Mario game to blend the 2D, 3D thing. And I gotta give them props for that, for originality. But it didn't execute it well. Not like Super Mario 3D Land or Super Mario 3D World did later on. So I give it props for like trying that, but it didn't really. It kind of executed it poorly. If you want to know why I don't really like this game, watch a little bit of the Let's Play that I did. I did not have a good time with this game. I'm sorry. It's, in my opinion, like the worst console Paper Mario, and I think that's a big statement. Is it a bad game? Nah, it's not like a terrible game, but it's a game that I really have no desire to play again. I'd like to eventually finish it on the channel if I can, but it's gonna take a bit for me to go back to that game. I feel like I have a bit of shell shock from this game, even just talking about it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Super Paper Mario. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. I'm gonna give this one a solid B as well. This was a really fun and exciting game when it came out, because it really felt like, to me, when this game came out originally on the Game Boy Advance, this was a game I got really excited about it, because I was like, okay, this is really more of a return to form to like the Super Mario RPG. I love this game. I haven't played this in a long time, but I remember when this first came out, I got this immediately on my Game Boy Advance, and I loved it. I ate this game up. It also has the benefit of having a Geno cameo in it, which which definitely gives it some props. But like, honestly, like, aside from that kind of silly little factoid, it's a really fun game. I loved what they did with like they got really creative with the timed hits and the different abilities that Mario and Luigi can do. I love the art style. It's really cool. I love like the little like, I love the James, my friend James, Bacon Mob, as some of you guys know, pointed this out. I love the like gibberish that Mario and Luigi say, like you know, that kind of thing. I love the voice acting in it. The music's good. The world's very inventive. I like the whole Bean Kingdom, and the battling's fun. And yeah, they just really knocked it out of the park with this game. I thought that it was really unique and like a nice breath of fresh air for this Mario RPG series. But unfortunately, like, the series itself has gotten a bit derivative, more than a bit derivative, I guess, in recent years. But the original's really great, and I actually am kind of interested in playing the remake for the 3DS at some point. So that's definitely a game I'll be getting, I think, in the somewhat near future. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I'm giving this an A tier. I haven't played this game in years, I gotta admit that to you guys, but when I did play it, I loved this game. I borrowed this game originally from my friend Matt, who has also been on the channel. Thank you for that, Matt, again. Rachel does own a copy. It's a game we would like to play on the channel at some point soon. I could see us doing it as a series or maybe a stream even sometime. But this is a really, really great... Many people will say this is the best, one of, if not the best, Mario RPG games. It is really solid. It took everything that the original Paper Mario did and kind of enhanced it. Graphically, the story's more elaborate. It was the last Paper Mario game to utilize that old-style Paper Mario battle system, with the RPG mechanics that a lot of people love and wish that the series would, return to. Unfortunately, I think that it's not going to return to that, but if that's the case, then, and it's, and Paper Mario 1000 Year Door is the last of the true kind of old-style Paper Mario games we're going to have, then what a way to go out, man. Paper 1000 Year Door was really great. It had a really good story. The partners were interesting. Like I said, they kind of really took a lot of the concepts from the first Paper Mario and ran with them. And I thought they did like a really, really fantastic job with it. It's a game that I've got to play again. It's a game that I don't know. I loved it when I gobbled this game up when I first played it. And like I said, it's definitely one worth revisiting. And keep an eye out. We'll probably play it on the channel sometime. Super Mario 3D World is going to go right up to S tier, I think. Actually, yeah, I'll put it up on S tier. It's kind of the bottom S tier, but it's still a great game. This game gets a little chaotic when you play with 4 people, but it's also fun. But it kind of took what Mario 3D Land did and ran with it. I love the cat suit. It's great. It's cute. There's a lot more levels, a lot more things to do. Like I said, the 4-player element adds a lot to it. And it's just a really, really well done game. Probably one of the best games on the Wii U. A lot of people would even argue the best game on the Wii U. Can't really understand why this hasn't been ported yet to the Switch. I imagine this is a game that will get ported. If it does, I'd love to see them add more playable characters, like maybe add Yoshi in there. That'd be really cool. But yeah, I don't know. Fun game. Graphically, looks amazing. Some really unique concepts added to it. Like I said, I like the cat suit. I liked some of the battles, like some of the ways you fight Bowser in the different levels is really fun. And yeah, I don't know. It like I said, kind of just took what Super Mario 3D Land did and ran with it. You get a full console game, and I dumped a lot of hours into this game when it came out, and yeah, love it. Love Super Mario 3D World. One of the best. Aside from maybe Mario Odyssey, probably one of the best 3D platformers Mario games in recent years, for sure. New Super Mario Bros. 2 I have not played, so I'm gonna throw that on E tier. It's a game that I have access to now. I've actually got it in my 3DS case now, but I haven't touched my 2DS in a while. But it's a game that I eventually want to play. My guess is it's going to be kind of somewhere in the middle of the road between, the first 2 New Super Mario Bros. Games and, like, New Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. U, as ridiculous of a title that is. I'm guessing it's kind of middle of the road. I haven't really played it. I know there's, like, a thing with it where there's a lot of coins and everything. I don't really know much about it. I haven't really played much of it, so I'm putting it in E tier, again, for just a game that I'm not really familiar with. I'm gonna go with that same for Mario and Luigi Dream Team. I played like the first maybe hour of this and kind of lost interest for some reason. I'm sure it's a game that if I played more I'd like, but I honestly haven't played enough of the game to really warrant like an opinion on it, honestly. Like I said, unfortunately, the Mario and Luigi series is getting a bit derivative at this point. We'll see what even the future of the series even holds now that Alpha Dream is no more. I'm sure there'll be something in the future someday, but in the meantime, I guess I have a lot of games in that series to catch up on, if I even do. It's a game that seems to me kind of like, if I do it, it'll probably be like at the very bottom. I'd much rather check out Paper Jam or something like Bowser's Inside Story first, but maybe at some point I will play it. But I think it says a lot about the game that I played like an hour of it and then never touched it again. So I don't know. I don't want to just judge it on that small amount of time. But I've talked to a few other people who've like gotten the game and never really got far in it either. So maybe it just isn't a game that grips you right away. I don't know. And this is where I'm really bad. I haven't played Mario Galaxy 2. I know. Hold your gasps. It's a game that I've got to play. Everybody tells me Mario Galaxy 2 is amazing. I know that, like, especially you get to play as Yoshi in it. Like, you get to ride Yoshi again. So that seems like a big plus for me. The Wii era, unfortunately, was a time in Nintendo's history where I was kind of out of commish. It was when my interest in video games were at an all-time low. So I had a Wii, or at least my family had a Wii, but I really only had Smash Bros. Brawl, and I had Smash Brothers Brawl, Mario Kart Wii, and I had Mario Galaxy. I played very little of Mario Galaxy, though, when it came out. So both Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2, I have not really played much of at all. Now, I can skip to Mario Galaxy here. I have played that. We've been streaming a lot of that in recent years. I'm going to give that a B tier. That's my subjective opinion. Objectively, it probably should be an A and S tier. A lot of people, especially who grew up, like I know a lot of you guys who are a bit younger, who are teenagers now, or maybe in your early 20s, Mario Galaxy was your game that you, like, might have been your first Mario game. So it probably had the Mario 64 effect, you know, that I had, you know. I've played it now since. I've played most of the game with Rachel on here. It's a game we're going to probably go back to and finish at some point soon, I would imagine. I don't think we have much further to go in that game before we actually do beat it. I really enjoy it now. I think the concept is awesome and unique, and like the idea of going to the different planets, and it's kind of got that hub world feel that the original Super Mario 64 had, but just like in a really unique way. And I think it's an impressive game for its uniqueness. The story is actually pretty interesting with like Rosalina and the Lumas and like the story behind that. And I don't know, it is a very impressive game, but it just didn't have that impact on me that, you know, something like Mario 64 or some of these other older games had. So it was just an unfortunate, for me, it was just an unfortunate case of me being kind of out of touch with the series for a long time. So, I mean, what are you going to do? That's just how it goes. But I have learned to appreciate the game in recent years, and I definitely want to play Mario Galaxy 2 at some point as well and kind of try to fill that hole, that gap. So, let's move on to Yoshi's New Island. I'm going to give that one a C tier. I've played a bit of this. It's fun. It's, again, unfortunately, it seems like Yoshi, this is where that series is kind of becoming a bit derivative. I noticed that for some reason Yoshi's Island DS isn't on here, which I'd probably put like maybe B tier or something. I don't know why they would put this and the original Yoshi's Island on here, but not Yoshi's Island DS. I'd have a lot more, I think, pro to say about that game rather than new Yoshi's Island. Not that new Yoshi's New Island is a bad game, but it's just gotten, I think at this point, like that series has gotten a little bit derivative, which is why I'm glad the Yoshi series was taken over. It seems like essentially taken over by Good Feel, and we've gotten really cool things like Yoshi's Woolly World and Crafted World. So I'm excited for the future of that series. I'm glad that series is alive and well and thriving, but it seems like Yoshi's New Island was kind of like a bit of a dip for the series, just in terms of like originality and stuff, because it's essentially like a carbon copy of like the original Yoshi's Island, just like, you know, different stages and whatnot. I do kind of like, though, I will say, like, to give it a little praise, I like the, I like how they made the Yoshi's Island graphic style into 3D. Some people might say that it, like, looks awkward, but I thought it looked kind of cool. So, it's a game that I want to finish. I actually, like, have been enjoying that to be said. Like, it should be said, really, even the weaker Mario games are pretty great, like, in my opinion. Like, even something like New Super Mario Bros. U, I'm gonna have a good time with. Maybe not as much as like some of these other Mario games, but like stuff like that, and like this Yoshi's Island game, like, yeah, well, they might be like a little bit, you know, derivative, still really good, you know, still really, like, still a good game, still a fun time, you know. From what I've played of Yoshi's New Island, I've really liked it. So, but like I said, it's just one of those things where when you recycle the same ideas over and over, they can get a little bit bland. So unfortunately, Yoshi's New Island suffers from that just a little bit, I think. Now here's where I'm really going against the mold. I'm going to give a solid B tier to Paper Mario Color Splash. People really don't like this game. And I did a whole video with Rachel on this, about, you know, kind of our thoughts about Paper Mario Color Splash. I kind of find it funny that Origami King is getting a lot of praise right now, even though, like, to me, I haven't played Origami King, but, like, when I look at it graphically and, like, even just some of the dialogue in it that I've seen and even just the way it plays, it's very similar to Color Splash. But I will admit, Color Splash's Achilles heel is its battle system. The battle system is not very good and gets very tedious after a while. But I would say that, like, the tedious, like the tedious nature of the battle system in Color Splash was way more tolerable than some of the, like, really cryptic and annoying things that I had to deal with in Super Paper Mario. And I also think that, like, the dialogue and the writing the dialogue, the writing, the story, and just the world itself, and the exploration of the world too, really was, to me, the redeeming quality in Color Splash. And there were so many times in that game where I would just laugh out loud, and I love the soundtrack. I really think they really tried very hard with Color Splash, and I think a lot of things they did well, but it just needed it. Like, I know they want. I read an article recently about the Paper Mario series as a whole, where they feel like they don't want to be confined by what they did initially with the series, with, you know, the RPG mechanics and whatnot. And I understand that. It goes along with what I was saying about recycling the same ideas, and they become derivative and games get bland. But, like, honestly, that formula worked, and you could still do so much more. A game like Bug Fables, that Rachel and I are playing that game right now. I mean, a game like Bug Fables proves that you know, they are using that old school Paper Mario system, that RPG system, but they're doing a lot new with it to make it work and make it more, I guess, more exciting and keep it fresh. So I think that, like, while, like, I understand the argument of, like, not doing the same thing over and over in the series and wanting to be inventive, like, they also don't necessarily need to reinvent the wheel with the system. And there's a reason why games like Super Paper Mario and Color Splash and another game we're going to talk about, and even from what I understand a little bit, Origami King, why they're suffering a little bit. They could be great games. Color Splash, in my opinion, had it had, like, a really great battle system, could have been the best Paper Mario game of, like, possibly the best Paper Mario game. Maybe not over something like Thousand Year Door or whatever, but possibly the best Paper Mario game if it had that system. But again, that being said, you guys want to hear more and more about this game, you could check out the video. But overall, I really do like Color Splash. I think it's underrated, and I think it doesn't deserve a lot of the crap that it gets. So that's where I'm going against the grain on this list. Super Mario Land, I'm giving wow. I'm giving A tier. Super Mario Land is a game that I love. Have a lot of nostalgia for this one. It's probably the first Game Boy game I ever played. The problem it has is that it's really short, and it is pretty, like, it's not the most difficult game ever. But it is really fun. It's unique. It was created by the late great Gunpei Yokoi. I believe it's Nintendo R&D 1 that developed the game. And because of that, it gives it a really unique feel. It's the first game with Daisy in it. You have Tatanga as the boss, like the cool alien. I love the final boss battle with him, where, you know, Mario's in the sky pop and you're like, it basically turns into a shooter at the end of the game. It was really cool. I love the music. It's a cool, fun, bite-sized game. I love Super Mario Land. It's a game that would serve well for, like, a remake or something. That would be really cool. Even that's like you know, they could add more levels and stuff, and I don't know, expand upon it a bit. But I always loved Super Mario Land. I think it's a great and unique game, and I don't know, maybe there's a bit of nostalgia glasses, again, rose-colored glasses here, but I think it's this really, really solid entry for the old Super Mario platformer games. I've always loved Super Mario Land. Luigi's Mansion is getting A tier as well. Such a fun and unique game. I was so excited to play this when it came out. I remember, like, seeing footage of this game before the GameCube was released and being really excited. I remember thinking, like, looking at the graphics, like, oh my god, the GameCube is going to be so cool. Like, the graphics are going to be amazing and everything. And it's funny now. I mean, the games hold up better than something like the N64, but it's funny now what, you know, as a kid when I was younger, you know, what I was excited about, what I thought were going to be these amazing graphics, you know. But Luigi's Mansion, really the only negative I could say about it is that it's a bit short. But honestly, it was really cool and unique and a very odd launch title for the GameCube. We didn't get the big Mario game. I think it was the first console game console where we didn't get like the big Mario adventure game or platformer. We got Luigi's Mansion, which was really, really interesting, and it's such a unique concept. You know, the idea, like, it's Super Mario Ghostbusters basically. It was great to see Luigi. I've always been a huge fan of Luigi. He was always my favorite character when I was a kid, so I always thought it was exciting seeing him finally get, you know, his real true starring role, you know, unless you count Mario's missing, which you know, whatever. But yeah, really cool. Loved the Poltergust 3000. It was such a unique idea to, you know, capture ghosts, and I always would go for, you know, trying to get all the boos and everything, and I never did really get a good mansion at the end of the game, but you know, it's still fun. I remember when I first got this game, I dumped hours and hours and hours into it. I just plowed through this game, and I played it quite a few times since. We recently did a marathon of this entire game on the channel, actually. I think, well, by recently, I think it was like a year or two ago, but that was fun. We stayed up all night playing Luigi's Mansion. Spooky. So, I don't know. It's probably the best entry of the series. Maybe a toss-up between that and Luigi's Mansion 3. I would also put Luigi's Mansion 3 like A, B tier as well, since it's not on here. I think that's been a really, really amazing sort of return to form for the series. I loved what they've done with Luigi's Mansion 3, but you gotta go with the original, man. The original Luigi's Mansion's awesome. So, yeah, gotta throw that on A tier. Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. A lot of people say this is the best Mario and Luigi game in the series. I have not played a ton of it myself. I'm gonna put it in C tier for now. It's a game that I've really got to play more of. Don't have much to say on this one. I thought the concept of it was unique. I never owned this one. I think I borrowed it from... I might have borrowed it from you, Matt, if you watch this. I don't remember, but... yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it, to be honest. It's a game I've got to replay. From what I played of it, I remember really liking it. So, I mean, I think I played enough of it where I could put it there for now, but it's one that I've got to revisit, to be quite honest. Man, maybe I'll put it in I'll leave it in C. I thought about throwing it and haven't played yet, but I think it's one that I'll revisit and maybe someday, you know, reevaluate and put it elsewhere. But for now, I'd probably put it there. Paper Mario is S tier for me. Now, despite what I said about all that stuff, I'm actually going to put it here. Despite what I said about, you know, Thousand Year Door being probably objectively the greatest Paper Mario game, the original Paper Mario will always be my favorite. I just love that game. I love the world. I love the characters. I love that it actually takes place in the Mushroom Kingdom, and you really see it, you know, them really expand, you know, the world of the Mushroom Kingdom more. And I don't know. I love the different areas. I love the Yoshi's Island area, Lava Island, I believe is what it's called. I love the whole part with the like Gusty Gulch with all the boos and everything, and Tubba Blubba's castle, and the Koopa Bros and everything. I love the little like interlude parts where you play as Peach and Twink. That's really fun, and there's a lot of like nods to Super Mario RPG because it's technically the sequel to Super Mario RPG. It was the game that really like kickstarted the Paper Mario series. Love the soundtrack, love all the partners. I love everything about that game. Paper Mario is one of my favorite games of all time. Again, a bit of rose-colored glasses there because of just, like I said, the impact it had on me when I was young. Grew up with the N64, always loved that game. I don't know, like I said, I'll admit Thousand Year Door is probably the objectively better game, but Paper Mario will always be my favorite. I don't know, I love it. Sticker Star, I'm going to do D tier. I have not played Sticker Star. I've watched enough gameplay, and I know enough about it to put it on D tier, though. Because I'm going to leave Sticker Star with this, a quote from my lovely wife, Rachel. So when you see this, you'll know I'm quoting you, buddy. The game is unplayable. That's how bad the battle system is in it. So now, from what I understand, it's similar to Color Splash, to be fair. But Color Splash, got a special place in my heart for Color Splash. I don't know. I think Color Splash improved that at least a little bit to make it where the game's playable. But from what I understand, Sticker Star is just, and from what I've seen, it's like, nah, got no interest in Sticker Star, sorry. It's probably the bottom of the barrel for the Paper Mario series, unfortunately. S tier, I'm going to put right next to Super Mario RPG, one of my absolute favorite Mario games of all time, Super Mario 64. One of the first games I did a Let's Play on the channel of here, actually. I love this game. To me, still, the controls in that game are the best controls. I know some people say they're slippery. For me, I'm so, like, I don't know, I'm so attached to that game. I know that game inside and out. I know the controls well. Like, I love it. To me, the controls feel tight. They feel like I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't know. I don't know exactly how to describe my feelings towards it, but I've never played a game where the controls were just so solid, and I knew, I don't know, you feel just like so in control of that world. I'm kind of at a loss for words to how to describe it, but anybody that's a big fan of the game and has played it for a long time, I think can kind of relate to that. It was just so groundbreaking when it came out, man. I mean, picture, you know, me as a kid, mid-90s, always played Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis and the Game Boy. That's really all I was exposed to. Get an N64 on my 10th birthday. With this game, I gotta tell you, man, I played that game for like weeks and weeks straight. Like, and I would play it every day. I'd spend hours just like exploring every little nook and cranny in each of the different like worlds inside the paintings, and even in like the castle, like trying to find little secrets. And I mean, God, I mean, just so many hours dumped into that game. Mario 64 is a timeless classic. It's still my favorite 3D platformer. I will say probably is objectively a game like 3D World better, or Mario Galaxy, or probably definitely I would say even definitely maybe Mario Odyssey is better. Sure, but there was just something about Mario 64. They captured like magic in a bottle. You know, there was something they did with that game where you could tell when you first played Mario 64, and you could get the wing cap, and you could just fly wherever you want, and you could, you know, you explore every nook and cranny. You go, you know, it felt like freedom, like a new, I don't know, like a new freedom of movement in a game that you never had anymore, you know, or that you never had before then, and just an indescribable experience playing that game for the first time. I love it. I've always loved Super Mario 64. Again, huge rose-colored glasses, but even objectively, I think it belongs in at least A S tier. Timeless classic. Love Mario 64. For me personally, I'm gonna throw, I would say Super Mario Bros. 3 is not, I don't love it as much as everybody else, but it belongs in S tier. Super Mario Bros. 3 was one of those games that was like Mario 64, and where it was incredibly groundbreaking with the power-ups, the Tanuki suit letting you fly, the different levels. You know, it was the first time you had some really varied worlds and levels in a Mario game. The music was amazing. I could go on and on about Mario Bros. 3. I remember when I first discovered the warp whistles, how like excited I was. I was like, oh my god, I can go anywhere, you know? I could go anywhere I want, like, you know, I could go to whatever world. I can skip ahead to the last world if I want to, you know? My personal favorites, I always loved World 6, the Ice World. I always loved World 2, the Desert World, and I always loved, of course, the big world, World 4. Just such unique ideas in that game. You know, so many different power-ups, the Tanuki suit, and, you know, the raccoon suit, and the frog suit. They were all always fun. I always liked the hammer suit as well. Just really fun, timeless classic. One of those games that I grew up with, one of the first Mario games I ever played. Just love that game. Super Mario All-Stars is sort of unfair to put on here, but I'm going to put it right up here on S tier as well, because it includes Mario, Super Mario Bros., Mario Bros. 2, Mario 3, and the Lost Levels, all remastered in what I think are way nicer graphics, nicer sound, like really crisp. I know a lot of people prefer the NES versions because they take out a lot of like the glitches and things like that from the original games, but Super Mario All-Stars was like the first game I ever that got me into video games, like specifically that pack, and specifically this game, Super Mario Bros., which I'm also putting on S tier. One of my favorite platformers of all time. Yeah, those games just, just were what got me into video games in the first place. So, I mean, I can't say enough positive about those games. And I think they objectively, too, belong, at least Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 3 belong in the top tier of Mario games, because that's just the classic Mario. It's the stuff that defined the entire series and an entire, God, like, not even an entire genre, like video games as a whole. Like Super Mario Bros. The original, like, wrote the book on platformers, you know, and did it better than any other platformer at the time. Like, totally innovative game, amazing. I don't know what else to say. If you haven't played the original Super Mario Brothers, you can't like I don't know what to tell you. You're missing out. And like I said, Super Mario All-Stars to me did it even better. I think did all of those games. So I think they all deserve. Maybe I'll do that. I'm okay with putting those there for now. I think maybe Super Mario Bros. Just a little less there, because I will say I do love the NES version. By the way, I've dumped many hours into that. I love going to the Minus World. The controls do feel slightly different, and I do like that. I remember also playing that version on the Game Boy Color of Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, and I like that too. But yeah, I don't know. I think just because of, again, it was the first game I ever played, I love the Mario All-Stars version the best. Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. I'm going to give this one a high B tier, only because I know a lot of people say it's the best Super Mario Land game. It's the Super Mario of that trilogy. It's the one I'm least familiar with. I've played enough of. I think it's a unique game. Like, the worlds were all interesting. The different caps you could get were kind of cool. But I haven't played it as much as the other two. I still love the game, though. It's really awesome and a unique game. It was the introduction for Wario, which was kind of cool. It was kind of cool to see him as, like, the main villain in it. And I remember, like, a lot of the different, like, levels in it were pretty unique. And again, it had that, like, Gunpei Yokoi Nintendo R&D 1 kind of, like, touch to it, where it was like it's different enough to be kind of outside of the, almost in a way, outside of the main Mario series. So it was it definitely has a special place, I think, especially with a lot of people. A lot of people say this is the best Mario Land game, and I can understand why. A game that I wish was on this tier list was Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, because I'd probably put that, like, on A tier. That's probably my favorite game of the Super Mario Land trilogy, and the one that I probably spent the most time with. So I still really love Super Mario Land 2, and to me it's still a timeless classic, but it's just a little bit under the other two, in my opinion. Super Mario Sunshine. This is a game that, man, I still want to put it on A tier, personally. I think I'm going to put it maybe here. It was a game that I loved at the time. I don't think it's aged super well, especially, like, from watching my brother and Rachel did a Let's Play of this on the channel, which everybody seemed to love a lot. I watched a little bit of it, to be honest. I didn't watch the whole thing. But it seems like the controls in that game haven't really weathered time very well. It still was a unique concept. I remember this game got a lot of heat when it came out because, you know, the thing I always heard on the school bus was like, oh, it's like, Mario's not a janitor. Like, just stupid comments like that. But I don't know why this and Wind Waker got a lot of flack when they came out. I always thought that this game was pretty unique. Again, it went back to that, hub world format of Super Mario 64, but it was done in a unique way. I liked Flood. I thought it was a cool idea. Again, some of it hasn't aged really well, but I remember at the time as a kid, I played this a lot. I played a lot of Super Mario Sunshine, and I remember really enjoying it. I remember it getting frustrating at times, particularly in those like weird bonus levels. They would get kind of frustrating, but I don't know, I thought the story was cool. You know, you got introduced to Toadsworth. There was some, like, dialogue in it, which is pretty interesting. You got introduced to Bowser Jr., which was, like, kind of cool, I guess. He's alright. And yeah, I don't know, it was a cool, unique idea. I don't think Nintendo, like, made a big mistake by trying something different with the game. Has it aged as well as some of the other ones? Probably not, but I still think it's a really good game. I think Super Mario Sunshine deserves, like, a solid A tier. Super Mario World. I mean, Super Mario World is the greatest platformer of all time, in my opinion. Super Mario World was the game that, like Super Mario All-Stars got me into, like, the different games on Super Mario All-Stars got me into video games. Super Mario World, like, just put a button on it. Super Mario World, I think, is the culmination of all the... It's the best things up until that point that they ever did with Mario platformers. You have everything. You have the, you know, the world, like, the big world, like, first of all, it's a hugely, like, for, as far as, like, the 2D platform Mario games, the exploration in that game is, like, akin to, for that time, akin to, like, Super Mario 64, because I can't tell you how many times I went back and explored all the nooks and crannies of those different levels, and there's so many secrets in Super Mario World with the different keys and the different worlds. You get all the Star World entrances, and so many of the levels have, like, 2 different exits, and, you know, of course, it's the introduction to Yoshi, so I remember it was always so exciting, like, I remember it was so excited the first time I got Yoshi and got to use him, and then when I went to Star World, and you get, like, you know, you find the little, like, red and yellow and blue Yoshis, and they all do something different, and I don't know, each of the worlds are unique, from the Donut Plains to the Underground Vanilla Dome to the Chocolate Islands and, you know, the Forest of Illusion. It was just such a unique and fun game, and like I said, we've streamed it twice on this channel. I have so much love for that game. I think, again, it's the best classic Mario platformer, and I could go on and on about Super Mario World. In an attempt to actually finish this video, I'll say that Super Mario World is just one of the greatest, to me, the greatest platformer of all time. Like, bar none. Love Super Mario World. And yeah, I realize a lot of that's rose-colored glasses, but I don't care. I think it honestly deserves S tier. It really is a stunning game. Yoshi's Island, I'm also gonna put on S tier. Funny enough, I believe Yoshi's Island was the last game in the last tier list too, so that's kind of funny. I'm gonna throw it here in front of Mario Odyssey. Yoshi's Island was also another really amazing, unique platformer. It kind of kickstarted the Yoshi series as its own separate series. You know, kind of introduced cool things like the ground pounding and, you know, egg throwing and stuff. And, I don't know, the world was really unique. You got a bunch of different colored Yoshis. My personal favorites, purple and brown Yoshi, were introduced in it. You know, you had the different, like, castle levels. They were always fun, and the underground levels. I always liked them too. And you had such unique ideas. I love the way they utilize the Mode 7 in this game. And the pastel art style for Yoshi's Island is some of my absolute favorite, like, artwork in any game ever. It's just, like, it really fits the game, and it's so unique. And I don't know, I have, again, another game I could just go on and on. Another game I dumped many hours and have played so many times throughout my life. And, you know, in my early years, this was just a game that, you know, was a staple. This game, like Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World, and Super Mario All-Stars, those were the 3 games that I probably dumped the most hours into and really shaped my love for this series and for video games as a whole. So to me, Yoshi's Island is right up there with all the other, you know, all the other games on this top tier list here. So I don't know, I'm looking at this now, I realize that there's a lot of S tier games, but I do, like, really love this series. I'm trying to see if I'm super happy with this list yet. Maybe Galaxy should go in front of Color Splash, just so I don't piss everybody off. Yeah, I'd actually put Galaxy over this one too. I think this is a pretty good list here. I'll stick with this for now. I don't know if this is exactly how I'd want it. Like I said, there's a couple things missing. You know, I don't know why Yoshi's Island DS isn't on here. There's I personally think that a couple of the Wario games deserve to be on here, and I'd even argue some of the Donkey Kong Country games. But for now, this is a pretty good list. I would say this is my Mario tier list. What do you guys think? Did I do well? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Feel free to comment below, let me know. If there's anything that was missing here that you think I should play, I'd appreciate you letting me know. And yeah, thanks for checking out this video. I'm really enjoying doing these tier lists. I'll probably do some more of these. And yeah, look out for a probably like a top 20 Mario game video at some point. I would like to do something like that in the near future. So like kind of like a big scripted video, like I did with the Super Nintendo video. And who knows? I have an idea I'm gonna propose here, by the way. Dave, if you watch this, I would like to do a GameCube tier list, but I would like to have my friend Dave guest on that with me because there's a lot of GameCube games I haven't played that he has, and it would be interesting for us to do kind of a collective tier list. So keep an eye out on that. There's been a lot of GameCube content randomly on the channel recently, so I think that would be like fitting to do at some point. But anyway, I digress. All that'll be coming sometime soon. Thank you so much for watching my video. Peace, guys. Thanks.
Here we go, off the rails. Don't you know it's time to raise our sails? It's freedom live.